Hi everyone, so my name is Christy Fay. I am the owner here at Stride. With me I have the lovely Maddie, one of our instructors. So first of all, if you're watching this video, we just want to say hello and welcome to the Stride community. I hope you're as excited as we are to be welcoming you into our space and start getting some cardio back into your life. So with classes starting to fill for our opening week, we thought we would take this time to show our riders exactly what they can expect when they come in terms of bike setup. Whether you are new to spin or even if you're a pro, it never hurts just to see sort of exactly how you should be positioned and how that body should feel before we go and get you riding. So I'm going to demonstrate with Maddie here. Don't worry if this is a little much. Or you get into this space and you forget what we just discussed, then just stand to the right of your bike and your instructor will do a demonstration for you before the class starts. So we'll go ahead and get started. So typically with the height of the seat where Maddie is standing, you would want the seat just at that hip bone or slightly above. Maddie, if you don't mind, I'll get you to hop onto the saddle for me. Essentially how I want you to think of it is when you are planted in your seat and you're seated, when your leg is fully extended down, we want to see a soft micro bend through the knee. So we shouldn't be hyperextended, and we also shouldn't have too much of a bend throughout that leg. That's when we can start experiencing some pressure throughout our ride. So as you can see with Maddie's leg, she has a soft micro bend through her knee. That's exactly where you should be. Newer riders, if this may seem like you are reaching a little bit further than that comfort level, we challenge you to really try to be here as we find that this is sort of the best way in incorporating your strongest stride. Now, to adjust that seat, there is a little knob at the back of the bike. You just turn it all the way to the left until it's fully loose. Once you've gotten to that loose point, you just gently remove the lever and find that height of the saddle. Once you find the number on the sort of on that seat, you can toss the lever back in and you'll hear a click, and then you just twist the knob over to the right, and that's where you can find your tightening spot. So where Maddie is exactly where you should be in terms of that softening through the knee. Now Maddie, if you don't mind, I'll get you to stand up. Where the seat is, there's also a little lever here. We would recommend that you find it at, oh gosh, I wouldn't even know how to explain this without you being here. I would generally suggest that you have your seat and the bar below directly in line to start, and then we can always adjust your stance from there. Again, we're not really playing too much with the seat part as we are more so the height. So go ahead, Maddie, I'll have you sit back down. Now from here, the handle height. This one here, you don't want to be reaching forward or really leaning through that body. You should be sitting up nice and upright for me, and it shouldn't be too high here either. Now, if any of you have any, soreness or tension or pressure in your lower back, this is where I would encourage you to bring the handle height all the way up. It's a lot more easier on your back to be riding at a higher stance with those hands on that handle if you do experience any pain or back issues back there. So for Maddie, I'll go ahead and put your hands on that flat part in front. This one here, more so personal preference. Some people do like to have it a little bit more elevated, but it should, exactly how we want to see is that 90-degree angle through the hips, the shoulders, and then the hands on the handle in front here. So again, if you feel like you're reaching too far forward, potentially we might have to adjust that seat. Same thing, maybe you might have your body position a little bit too far back. We can adjust that seat as well. Maddie, I'm going to get you to stand up for me here, and I'll show you exactly what I mean with that. If the seat is too far forward, go ahead and sit down and place your hands. You'll notice that that perfect 90-degree angle has shrunk. Therefore, she doesn't really have a lot of space between her upper body and that handle. So I'll get you to stand back up for me, and I'll show the absolute opposite where we're reaching for those saddles. Okay, go ahead and sit back down. right here she's overcompensating through her reach. So that's where we typically suggest play with your seat once you have gotten in the saddle and you've adjusted your heights accordingly. And then you can determine sort of where that 90-degree angle is for you. So go ahead and stand back up. I'll get your seat back in line. Perfect. And you'll go ahead and sit back down. Wonderful. Now, same thing. If you are adjusting those front handles in front, there is a lever at the front here. You would just turn it over to the right until it's fully loose. Now, to adjust it, all you do is pull, and then you would lift or lower until you hear that click. Oops. And then you can turn it over towards the left until it's fully tight. Now, for any newer riders, what I would suggest that you do is before you start, give those handles a bit of a shake. Oftentimes we'll see the lever here maybe slightly loose, where it often finds a little bit of a shake between the handles. So before you get started, just make sure that this knob here is fully turned over to the left, just so that you can ensure the safest stride for 50 minutes. So that's bike setup. So now for those of you that are fairly new to spin shoes and clipping into the pedals, we'll just make sure that you feel, again, comfortable with trying anyways, trying to do it on your own. Now, if at any point in time you're just not getting it, just let us know. We'll ask you to just step away from your bike and we'll actually clip the shoe into the pedal for you. And then from there you can hop onto your seat and place your foot into the shoe already clipped in. But for those of you that really want to get it, we would encourage you to definitely try. So how I'm going to explain it to you is if you are a skier, this is a good analogy. I think, Maddie, you were the one that did it, but it's no different than connecting your foot into the boot and then clicking it in. So I'm just going to get Maddie to relax her foot. I'm going to place the pedal up so that we can see. And I'll just get you to lift your foot. Thank you. So how I want you to think of it is just placing the ball of the foot down onto the pedal. Now once you've made your connection, you're going to slide that foot forward until it cannot slide any further. Once you've reached that point, all you do is just put your heel down and you would have successfully clipped in. Now to get your foot out, it's just a matter of either clicking your heel over to the right or left. And the important thing when we're clipping out is we want to ensure that the pedal remains flat. So again, just connecting the foot onto the pedal, sliding the foot forward until you've reached that connection and you cannot slide it any further, and then just gently pushing your heel down, that will clip you in. If you have any questions, or again, if you do struggle, they are newer clips, so some of them can be a little tighter at times. Please feel free to let us know, don't be shy. Again, we would be happy to clip the shoes into the pedals for you, and then have you place the shoes on when they're already clipped in.